Hello, my name is Vanessa and I work for Swansea University for the student recruitment team, and I'm going to talk to you today about why higher education. So some of the things to think about if you're thinking about going to university and studying a course. I'm going to put on the screen here our QR code, so please feel free to take a picture of that with your mobile. That will take you through to our keeping in touch form, where you'll be able to find out information which is relevant to you. So you can sign up for subjects that you're interested in, and we will send you information about masterclasses that are happening, subject tasters, guest videos and speakers. So please feel free, you can do that for as many subjects that you're interested in studying, just to gain a bit of background information about subjects and courses. So the topics, and just to give you an overview of what we're going to cover. So why go to university, choosing what and where to study, student life and resources and further information. So next steps after you've seen this presentation. Just to give you a bit of background about Swansea University, we are the UK's first campus university and we opened 100 years ago. So we're celebrating our centenary this year. We have approximately 19,000 students, so not only from Wales and the UK, but from across Europe and across the whole world. And we have 2 campuses, which are both close to the beach and to the city centre. So why go to university? And here are some of the reasons that, and some of them may apply to you actually, around why you want to go to university. So usually the main reason is to pursue a passion, and I know that was in my case, is to pursue a passion in terms of subjects that you are studying and you want to find out more about. It might be a subject that you've studied at school or college and you want to go into more depth and detail and learn more about it. For example, something like geography. So it may be that you've studied it previously and you want to go on and do more. You want to find out about particular facts about glaciology, globalisation, the environment, geology. So there's a lot of scope into going into a lot more depth. You may want to actually look at a particular type of geography because it becomes more specialised in university. You can focus and look at human geography, for example, so globalisation, mobility, migration, political geography, or you might want to focus on the physical side, so earth systems, plate tectonics, glaciology, the global environment, earth systems. So there's 2 different, you can then sort of decide, right, I want to do a more general course, or I want to focus on more of a physical side or more of a human side. Or you might want to go on and do something completely different, something that you haven't had the chance to study before. It may be something related to one of your favourite subjects or one of your strong subjects. For example, if you're strong at sort of sciences or particularly sort of biology, you might want to go on to study something like genetics or zoology. Or if you're interested in maths and you've got an aptitude with figures, you might want to go on and do something like actuarial science. Or if you're interested in history, there's all different sorts of options. You might want to go on and do something like ancient and medieval history or modern history. Or you might want to do something like Egyptology. So you can really see there's quite a lot of scope related to subjects that you're doing, but that go into more depth and take you in a slightly different direction, but based on your original subject that you're interested in. Or you might want to do something that you haven't had the chance to study before. So there's lots of subjects where you don't have to have taken the subject before, but just related subjects. So for example, I know not everywhere enables you the opportunity to study subjects like PPE or psychology or law. But those options, you can do that even if you haven't studied those subjects before. There's also the chance to meet lots of different people. So in the university environment, you're meeting people, as we said, we have students from all across the world, and everyone's in the same position. So you're all there, and it's a chance really to make sort of good friends, maybe people, lifelong friends, people that you wouldn't always have met, from lots of different backgrounds, and the chance to enjoy new experiences, visit new places. So the world's your oyster, really. A lot of the time as well, people meet future partners at university as well. So another reason to go to university is to improve your career prospects. So I know that was a reason that I chose as well when I was thinking about university, as well as pursuing a passion. So it really links to your future earning potential and how much you're likely to earn throughout your life, really. And it has been proven because there is sort of research that's been done, which is on the gov.uk website. If you Google graduate earnings remain high, so it's been shown that no matter what the state of the job market, sort of graduates, and when you've got a degree and your transferable skills, which we'll talk about, graduates earnings tend to remain sort of high and better. So over a lifetime, graduates earn more than students who then don't go on and get a degree. Also, university allows you to gain independence, and so you can grow in your independence and confidence. So usually people always think, oh, if I move away from home, I definitely will gain independence. And this can be a way forward. So it may be that you want to move away, you gain the life skills of sort of cooking and cleaning, looking after yourself, organising your budget, organising your timetable and yourself. But it isn't true just for students who move away. Even if you do commute and you live at home and travel to university every day, because it is so different to school or college, you're not told when to do your revision, when to do your study time, when to go out in terms of organising yourself. You have to do all of that and still be able to meet deadlines and get your work done. So you are gaining sort of independence in that way, in terms of organisational skills and study skills. Also, the chance I did mention to develop key skills. So we will talk about those. So key skills are skills that you can transfer and that you learn throughout life. One thing as well that sort of, it may be that you're going to do a course at university is that you may have to. So we're saying, why go to university? If you want to do certain careers, for example, if you want to go into a career as an architect or a lawyer, so barrister or solicitor, doctor, nurses, midwife, you would need to get a degree in order to do those roles. So it's a case of having to go to university and gain those qualifications. So we touched upon sort of key skills. So here are some of them in more depth. So you can see the different skills that you develop as part of your degree. So you do them while you actually access and develop these while you're on your degree course. So time management skills, communication through doing group work, team working skills. So you do presentations, you're using your initiative, you're having to organise yourself, having to motivate yourself. And that's very much around sort of with a passion. So where you're studying a subject that you're interested in, it's been shown that you're much more likely to be motivated to get up, to do that research, to go to the library, to do the work that's required because you're interested in it. So motivational skills and commitment as well, when things do get difficult, that you're committed and you can stay and complete the tasks. So you can see all of these skills are aspects that you develop during your time at university. And they can also be really helpful when you're going into jobs. They're the sorts of skills that are sometimes called lifelong learning skills, or that used to be called that, because you develop them throughout your life. You always need them for job interviews, you always need them in the workplace. So you can see these key skills are very key. So what to consider? So there are over 300 higher education institutions in the UK with over 50,000 courses across 650 subject areas. So that sounds like a lot, but don't be sort of put off by that. There's lots of different ways that can be whittled down and you can tailor it to what you want to look for. So usually their first point of contact, I'd say, would be to use a search tool, and UCAS have a very good one. So you can then actually whittle down the courses to subjects that you're interested in. There's the whole gamut there really, with the 300 HE institutions and 50,000 courses. So for example, if you're interested in law, there's 1,517 courses from 156 providers, or criminology, 1,173 courses from 161 providers. So you can whittle that down then to a geographical area if you know where you want to study and where you don't want to study and how far you're willing to go. You can whittle it down to the type of course that you want to do. Do you want to do a joint course or a single course? So there's all different ways where you can use filters to be able to search and bring up courses that you can start looking at and researching. So in terms of the time that you spend at university, so you spend between 1 and 5 years immersed in the subject area or subject areas that you choose. And as we say, you perform better and you're more excited, you're more motivated and more committed if you have an aptitude or you enjoy that subject. So you're going to want to choose something that you really want to do that's going to keep you motivated for that time. It's also good to look at the assessment methods, and this is a bit about self-awareness. So you know what works best for you really. You know whether you're good at performing in exams, or whether you prefer coursework, or whether you like project work and presentations. So you're able to look at this when you're looking at university courses, and most websites you can go in and see what are the assessment types for different modules overall for the course. Is there an end of year assessment? How does that look? So you can do that research beforehand, and it's important to do that because there are tuition fees to pay. So even though you can change course, it can be tricky, it can be troublesome. Sometimes it might mean that you have to redo a year. If you're thinking about changing from one university to another, the modules that they do on the first year at the course that you've done may be different to the modules that are available when you go to the second year. So it's important that you take that time to do that research first of all, so that you can avoid some of these hazards that might come up. So there's different types of degree, and we'll come on to that in a later slide. So there's lots of things to consider as well. So it's just around being aware and doing a bit of research beforehand. So here's just to give you an idea of the different plethora of courses available. So you can see some of the courses. These are available sort of, I've just looked at on courses available across the UK. So a lot of variety. You can go as specific or keep it as general as you want to. That's entirely up to you. And then some courses allow you to specialise as you progress through the course. Right, so what type of course? So there's different types of courses. So bachelor's courses, which are first degree courses, and you have one main subject, and they are usually 3 years long. But you can usually pick modules. So it's always a good idea, because you have a choice of sort of up to 5 usually courses on your UCAS form. it's good to make sure that you check and look at the different courses and what's taking place and what each university is offering in year 1, year 2 and year 3. You may assume that this would be the same, but it's not. It might be sort of modules that are done in one university in year 1 are done in year 2 of another university. Maybe that the choices are different in terms of being able to pick optional modules that you want to study. How are they different to the compulsory modules that you have to take? So make sure you look at that during year 1, 2 and 3 and see if that suits you and they have the offering that you would like to take up. So single honours courses, as I've mentioned, so biology, could be something like psychology, midwifery, law. So those are single honours courses where you'd get sort of a Bachelor of Science, a Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Laws, etc. Could be a joint or a combined honours course, and this is where you study 2 subjects, and combined where you study 2 or more subjects. You probably don't have as much option to pick the modules because you have to take modules from both subjects. So the sorts of courses that these cover are things like biochemistry and genetics, or maths and sports sciences, so where the subjects can be related or completely different, so media and Spanish. Now, those subjects that are quoted there are 50-50, so you would study 50% media and 50% Spanish as part of your course. But then there's also courses where they have with in the title, so English literature with creative writing. So that course means that you're studying 75% of English literature in your course and 25% of creative writing. So you can see how those options are available to you if you know, right, I want to do not just straight English literature, I want to do a bit of both, but I want to do mainly more English literature, then you can do that. Combined courses, for example, journalism, media and communications, where you're studying sort of 3 subjects which are quite related, or lots of humanities courses allow where you can study sort of a variety of subjects and then specialise as you progress through your course. There's also the options of a year abroad or a year in industry, and lots of universities offer this option. And again, this is around sort of helping you experience something different and something in addition to your course, but also helps as well when you leave the course, because it helps you to you look very attractive and employable to an employer. So it's where you're able to, so the year in industry where you're able to gain real world experience. So you're usually on a placement or an internship with a company. A lot of the time there's the option to be paid. And then the year abroad options are where you are able to study at usually a partner university with the university. So that's all arranged for you, because that can be quite tricky, sort of arranging to study abroad, but that's all done for you, and you study a year abroad, which is a lot of the time counted towards your course, and you've got that experience as well. So in terms of the courses, we also have integrated master's courses. So these are longer. So these are 4-year courses. So it's your degree, but it extends to a master's. So at the end of the time, you will have your bachelor degree, and you also have a master's degree. So examples of these are sort of masters in physics, or MPhys, or masters in pharmacy. So a lot of these courses where the entry requirements are slightly higher because you're committing at the beginning, and you gain your place at university, you do your 3 years and then you automatically go on to the masters. You don't have to do that this way. You can, if you want to, commit to the 3-year course, and then go on and apply for the masters afterwards for some courses. The Masters of Pharmacy is not available, that is a 4-year course already. So some courses are straight 4-year courses, others can be done over 3 years, and then add another year. There's also the foundation year course. So this is where students, like say for example, you don't get the grades necessary for the bachelor's course that you want to do, your first degree, and the grades are slightly lower for the foundation year. And what will happen there is that you do a first year, and then you can go automatically, once passing that, go straight on to your main degree course. It can also happen that you choose a foundation course or foundation year if, for example, you're changing subject area. So say if you're doing for example, it can be with an engineering course and you don't have the right STEM subjects. So in order to get the base and the information that you need, you would do a foundation year and then join the 3-year course. So finding courses, where would you find your courses? So we already talked about UCAS Course Search, but also prospectuses and university websites. So a lot of the information is online, it's just there at your fingertips for you to be able to access. And as I said, you can go into university websites, you can actually, a lot of the time, drill down into what you'll be studying year 1, 2 and 3, drill down into, on our website you can drill down into the modules, you can drill down into who will be teaching you, and you can actually drill down into reading lists. So there's a lot of information out there that you can access and that's readily available. If you can't access it from a university website, please do email the university contact us. That's what we're here for, to be able to give you the information that you're looking for. There's also higher education fairs, and a lot of these are online at the moment, so you can actually sit from your home and have access to hundreds of universities. They're always a good point of contact after you've maybe done some initial research, although you don't have to have done some initial research, but you probably get the most from them if you have, because then you can just go on to, if you've got certain courses that you're interested in, you've got particular questions that you wanted to ask, you can actually chat to members of staff and sometimes student ambassadors, so people doing your course on those at those fairs, and actually gain the answers that you need to some of the questions. There's also sites such as What Uni and discoveruni.gov.uk, which give you further information. Discover Uni is very good because in a way it's students giving the information, so you can go in and see what students thought about a particular course they did, what they thought the teaching was like. This is available in rankings as well, and league tables, so you can see that too. So that's another option that you can use. So as places like The Guardian have The Guardian, The Times, The Complete University Guide all have rankings. One thing that it is important to do is, if you're looking for at league tables and rankings, is to look at the subjects that relate to you. So it might be that the university that you're looking at is a top university, but how does it perform relating to your subject? How do students perform in terms of getting their degree and getting work afterwards as well? That should be a key aspect to look at, looking at after university. Once I've got my degree, how successful are people from how successful are graduates from this university in getting graduate level work in the area that they've studied? Also use social media, and this is quite a good way, I think, to be able to follow either courses that you're interested in and universities as well. So if you know that you're thinking about several different universities, join their social media channels, their Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so that you can, and there's additional information that you can get from there as well. So do that, and you get the chance to find out all of the different events and things that are going on. And also finally, UCAS TV, UCAS Connect, UCAS social media. So UCAS have a lot of how-to guides, they have social media, they have a Connect system where you can sort of find out more information and find out about courses. Which university? So this is things to think about in terms of the university that you're thinking of studying with. So distance from home. So this is a very important one to think about. So is it that you are planning to live at home and commute to university every day, or are you wanting to move out and start and actually live at university? So that then we'll look at your sort of geographical sort of area, and how you the actual geographical area you're interested in, and how much you want to how far you want to travel. And this also links to family and friends and accessibility. So sort of it's usually good to look at a distance from home in terms of door to door, so that you can see how far away or how close it is to you. Are you interested in a campus or a non-campus university? So with a campus university, a campus is where everything is on site. So you're teaching, you're learning, you're studying, but also aspects such as sporting facilities, sort of the gym, as well as the library and sort of restaurants and everything are on site. Well-being, all of those aspects. A non-campus university is where there are separate sites, usually just dotted across a location or a city. So different departments may be housed on different sites in terms of subject areas, or it also might be different facilities are housed on different sites. Are you interested in a traditional or a modern university? So sort of in terms of the look of the university and the buildings and how it's situated. A lot of that can be got from sort of websites and from visiting. We spoke about family and friends and the distance from home. How close do you want to be to family and friends? Is it that you're going to want to come home quite often or not so often? Teaching facilities, what sorts of teaching facilities are there available? And this can be quite key related to the course that you want to do. So if, for example, you're interested in an engineering course or a medical course or a science course, you're going to want to look at sort of the facilities. What facilities are there available? And lots of universities tend to have state-of-the-art facilities because sort of we're all doing research. And you are using those facilities as undergraduates, you're able to use those. So make sure you do your research and see sort of what labs are available and what technical facilities are available as part of your course. For example, sort of for an engineering course, with our courses, there's simulators and wind tunnels. We've got a Rolls-Royce Uni Tech Centre on campus. Tata Steel have facilities on campus as well. So that would be important for somebody interested in an engineering course with us to have to look at what facilities are there. But even if it's a course that any course, you're going to want to look at things like the computer facilities available to you, because that's going to be key in terms of you being able to complete your course. Then also support services. So these are sort of anything that will help you around, that's not sort of academic, but that will help and support you to gain your course. So it could be well-being, so aspects such as mental health. If you've got a disability, what sort of help does the university give you? So make sure you look at that support. So look at the wraparound services as well. Sporting facilities. So is there a sport that you currently do at the moment that you want to continue, and what are the facilities like at the university that you're looking at? Or is it a new sport that you want to access the different sorts of sports and learn something new? So look and see what's available. A lot of the time with universities we have sporting facilities which are linked. For example, at Swansea we have sort of rugby and football facilities which are linked to the city's teams, and students can access those. If you're interested in swimming, so there are pool facilities, so all of those kind of aspects. Also to look at finance and bursaries and scholarships. So these will differ from university to university, because all universities we have a pool of money that we give and have available to students as a bursary or a scholarship, and then to look and check, do you have to apply for it? Is it automatic? What sums of money are accessible and you can apply to for someone in your position? Accommodation options. So what's the accommodation like? What accommodation is available? Is it on site? Is it off site? Lots of the times where you're a first year student and you're travelling a distance, first year accommodation can be guaranteed on site. But does that relate to the universities that you're looking at? So check that out. And also sizes, student numbers, class sizes and contact time. What's that like? What does the timetable look like basically for the course that you're interested in? And these differ according to course and to different courses and to different universities in some aspects. And finally, the local area. What is there to do? So what is there out there to do in your downtime? Sort of what's the nightlife like? What type of place is it? What cultural aspects can you pursue in terms of different things to do when you're not studying? So student life. So other aspects to think about are clubs and societies, sports, campus facilities, social events, and we've spoken about health and well-being. So around sort of clubs and societies, all of you will virtually be in the same position. So you're coming to university, you want to find friends and other people with common interests such as yourself, and a good way to do this is through the student union, through clubs and societies, and they can be sort of sporting clubs and societies that can be related to hobbies, can be related to interests, can be related to culture. So there's all different sort of sports and clubs and societies, and you can look on the university and see what's available. We've talked about sports and campus facilities. What sort of social events does the university host? And there on our graphic you can see, because we usually have a freshers fair and a summer ball, so where which is given open to all students. And then also health and well-being. So what facilities are available on site? So at Swansea we've got a health centre, a dentist is available on site. So you can see it's good to see what facilities are available for you at university. So coming back to the scholarships, so just to give you an overview about scholarships, there is a range of extra financial support for students. It can be based on aspects such as grades, or it can be based on if you come back from a low income background. At Swansea we have what's called an excellent scholarship for students who gain 3 A's at A level or equivalent, and that's £3,000, so £1,000 a year, which is given to you. You don't have to pay it back, and you're able to spend that on whatever you want. And if you get the equivalent of 2 A's and a B, you automatically get our merit scholarship. which is £2,000 over the course of 3 years, which works out at about £667.66 per year for you then to spend on whatever you want. There's also sporting scholarships that we have available of up to £1,000. So check out, but our scholarships will be different from other university scholarships. So some scholarships you have to apply for, so there's money available, but you have to fill in a form, and there's usually a deadline for when you need to get that application in by. So make sure that you've gone onto the website, you've researched the scholarships and bursaries available, look at your eligibility for them, and look on the university websites and prospectuses for these. Right, so just so that you get a bit more information about us at Swansea. So in terms of courses, we have 7 academic colleges covering our courses. So we have Arts and Humanities, Engineering, Health and Human Sciences, College of Science, School of Law and Criminology, Management, and a medical school. So you can see sort of the subjects that we cover. That's the overview there. And there is our Singleton campus. So this is our original campus, which I said was 100 years old and is our centenary. And you can see it's one of the I think in the top 5 green campuses. So we're next to Singleton Park and opposite Swansea Bay, which you can see there in that aerial view. And also our Bay campus, which is right on the beachfront, and I believe it's one of the closest in the world campuses, one of the closest university campuses in the world to the beach. And also sort of linked to our Singleton campus and our city centre, all by a bus service. So reasons to study at Swansea. So here are just some of our headlines really in terms of our rankings. So we have a teaching excellence framework of gold, which means our teaching standards are high. We are the highest ranked university in all of Wales. We're in the top 6 of student satisfaction, so students are satisfied with their course that they receive from us. The students with the whole, actually not only with the course, but they're also satisfied with the whole university experience, but we're also in the top 5 of course satisfaction as well. And we're in the top 5 of career prospects, meaning that students do really well in terms of getting work after they've studied with us. So in terms of graduate prospects. So the next steps. So here are some of the things that you can do. So research online at UCAS, which is, as I said, the search tool is really good. Familiarise yourself with the different university websites that you're interested in, especially, look at universities. Everything will be on there, from sort of courses to accommodation to, as I said, bursaries and scholarships to facilities. Everything is accessible on university websites. Follow universities on social media to find out what is going on. Book onto open days, and these open days are at the moment virtual, but can be as well a good way of chatting to students who are on courses that you are thinking about doing. So it's a good way to use those open days, as well as take virtual tours and listen to talks about the subjects and what's covered, and ask questions. Also, speak to friends, family, teachers about your options. It may be that you've got parents who have been to university, or siblings or friends who have been, so speak to them about university. If you're not, and you're first in your generation going to university, there is a lot of help out there. So please do sort of do some of these aspects that I've talked about. So you can, things like UniBuddy, where you can link up with sort of students who are doing courses and they can help answer questions. Also sort of attend open days and aspects and fairs and things where you can, I know they're virtually, but you can still chat online to people who are studying what you're interested in, and so that you get more information on the course and what it's like to study. And also think about what you'd like to do after university, because it will go quickly, and it's always good to have I know sort of we don't want to wish our lives away, but it's good to think what's your end point in terms of what do you want to get out of studying. And some of this you may find while you're actually at university and experiencing all those different experiences. And then finally, please do contact us if you've got any questions. So please do contact universities. We're all happy to help. And come visit. So we've got open days which are virtually at the moment, but once they're safe to be physical, please do come and visit us. Thank you very much. And finally, I will put the QR code. So there again is, if you want to keep in touch with us, please take a picture and you'll be able to keep in touch with us, and we'll send you relevant information. Thank you very much.